envious for the fast of Ramadan. And some of them, non-Muslims, will be listening to this lecture. And they will want to join us in the fasting because they understand the benefit for physical health. And so wherever you are in the world and you listen to this lecture, we say to you, just look up in the sky. And when this old moon disappears into the darkness of the sky, and the new moon appears, like a little baby, you will begin the fast. And you will fast from dawn until the sun goes down. And then during the night time, Allah says, وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا, eat and drink, حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. Eat and drink until the darkness of the night is distinct from the light of the day. But he didn't say to spend the whole night eating and drinking. No. And so we invite you, wherever you are in the world today. We know this is in an age when the barbarians who now rule the world are waging unjust war on Islam. They don't like this kind of language. But we use this language because facts are facts. And we invite you to join with us this Ramadan and fast with us this Ramadan. So you too will enjoy the physical benefit of fasting. But we are inviting you for another reason. And it is that there is but one God. And that God is the God of Abraham, alayhi salam. The Jews worship him, but he's not their God alone. That's nonsense. The Christians worship him. They call him God the Father. But God is not Father. No. You can only become a father when you have a child. And he said, "Lam yalid wa lam yulad." He begets not, nor was he begotten. So to say that God is Father is committing blasphemy, shirk. There is but one God. And that one God has given a command, an order. And if you disobey his order, you pay the price for it. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who have faith in that one God, kutiba alaykumus siyam. Fasting has been made obligatory on you. You have no choice, no option in the matter. Yes, there are exceptions if you are traveling and it's going to be difficult for you to fast. Then he gives you the facility that you can fast at a later time when your travel is over. If you are ill, he gives you the facility that you can make up for the fast when you've recovered your health. And if you are permanently disabled, you cannot fast permanently, then he says you have a ransom. That is, you can feed one person for a day in lieu of fasting. And so there is no option here. It is obligatory, it is compulsory. And we have to share this information with you, so that when you go to the grave, you will not say, "I didn't know the Muslims never told me. But power depends not only upon external power, there is also an internal component to power. And internal power is spiritual power. Internal power is when you are internally healthy. And you know that you are internally healthy when the heart is healthy. When the heart is turned to Allah, and you are in obedience of Allah's command, like fasting, performing your prayers regularly, and giving in charity, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removes the veil from around the heart. You can graduate with a PhD from MIT and yet be internally blind. You will be living in this world and living for this world and have no consciousness at all in your heart that there is a reality beyond material reality. Because instead of worshipping Allah, you're worshipping Dajjal. You know, he sees with one eye, the left eye, and he's blind with in the right eye. It looks like a bulging brick, but your Lord is not one eye. You know that between his eyes on his forehead is written the word Kafir, disbeliever, and every mu'min will be able to see it, so George Bush can't see it. Huh? Every mu'min will be able to see it. The mu'min is the one who has faith in the heart, not the barbarians who are now dropping bombs indiscriminately on little children, and on women, and on masajid. And they have no shame. They're worse than animals. No ethics of warfare. And these are the people who invite us to follow them. They have the road to progress. If you think like that, you should buy a one-way ticket to Disneyland. Stay there and don't come back. Every mu'min will be able to read the word kafir, whether you are literate or illiterate. And we have suggested, and Allah knows best, that the left eye symbolizes external sign. Therefore, knowledge externally acquired, a PhD from MIT in Boston. And we have suggested that the blind right eye symbolizes internal blindness. And when you are internally blind, you will eventually come to the conclusion that knowledge comes only from external observation, scientific inquiry. And since this is now, listen carefully, I just mentioned this yesterday at Twin Towers, Petronas. Since knowledge comes from only external observation and scientific inquiry, then the only world that we can know is the world that we can observe. Since this is the only world we can observe, this is the only world we can know, that methodology, that epistemology. When you come to the conclusion that this is the only world that we can know, you eventually conclude that this is the only world that exists. And that's where they are, with all their university degrees. That's where they are, for all practical purposes. This is the only world that exists. And anything in religion beyond that is only, they call it window dressing. If this is the only world that exists, then there is no reality beyond material reality. Welcome to materialism. Welcome to the modern world. Welcome to humanity today who are living with a spiritual vacuum. They have eyes and yet they cannot see. Most of them are politicians. And there's no excuse for that concept. They have eyes and yet they cannot see. They have ears and yet they cannot hear. They have hearts and yet they do not understand. Says Allah in the Quran, in Surah Al-A'raf.